Boom, boom, boom. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 16 of The Skeptic and the Dude. It's, fuck. Well, that was a fuck start to the show. I was going to ask Joel how he's going, but then I forgot to say that it is Thirsty Thursdays today. What are we
Thirsty
drinking,
Thursdays.
Joel?
I'm drinking Woodstock Bourbon and Cola Special. It's got 6% alcohol.
Is that why it's special?
That's why it's special, 6% alcohol.
Fuck, man.
We're going to get absolutely
you're gonna...
rinsed this show.
Well, Joel I'm just having one glass of me granddad's scotch that he won. I think it was like a raffle or something. It was something that he won. And see, my grandfather wasn't a drinker. So he got given...
Oh,
I'll bring it down.
That smells like pure bourbon.
Yeah, strong shit.
Teachers
scotch. So, yeah, there's a big, massive fucking bottle that my granddad won. And he wasn't really a drinker, so he never had it. It's 4.5 litres of teacher scotch. And then when my granddad passed away, then, you know, everyone in the family, they all kind of dished it up. And so we all got, I think, like a litre each or something. So I'm just having a cheeky fusies of that today.
Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice. I haven't tried Teachers.
You haven't tried teacher scotch?
No.
It's pretty much...
Good?
Yeah, it's good.
Smooth?
It's good. Oh, no, scotch is not smooth. But it's smooth in terms of scotch. It's smooth for a scotch, you know. But yeah. No, when you come over, man, I'll give you some.
Hell yeah. Do you remember when we tried Bundy rum on the rocks? That was stupid.
That's right.
That was fucked. That was not smooth at all. That was so rough.
Because it's like just drinking really strong antiseptic. It was just fucking...
Yeah. It's not made to be straight, I'm pretty sure.
Was that when you left the bottle at my place and then we were like going to the restaurant, like, oh, let's have some prees, boys. I'm like, yep, no worries. Poured us a glass like that, and we all sculled it and went, oh, that did not go down well.
Yeah.
That did not.
It didn't. It was nasty. It was very nasty. I won't do it again. I'll tell you that.
Jesus Christ. Have you had Bundy since?
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah. With stuff.
With Coke. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tasty. It's pretty good. Anyway, so what have you been up to, Mr. Brando?
Well, last night, my dad came and spoke to me and said that there was a meteor shower that happened last night at this morning at between 4 and 6 a.m. and it's meant to be debris from Halleys Comet, and that only like comes over. Yeah, you can only see it like I think it's once, like maybe once in a lifetime or twice in a lifetime or whatever. I think the last one was back in 1989 or something. And last night it was meant to be debris, so it would look like a meteor shower. It's like all these shooting stars. So my dad was like, "Oh, I'm going to get up at 3:15. I'll see you then." I was like, "Yeah, cool, all right, no worries." I thought, I got nothing, nowhere to be, So I set the alarm, got up, got dressed, went upstairs just at the same time as my dad was getting out of bed. And then as I later found out, he was actually, when his alarm went off, he was half contemplating, like, I don't think I'll bother. He like turned the alarm off and just lied there thinking for a bit. And then as soon as I come up the stairs and he realized, oh, we're good to go, sweet, because he was thinking, Brandon's not going to get up, and I did, fucking did. Oh. And we went for a walk down there. I put on my Instagram story that I was just looking to see them aliens because, see, when my dad told me this, I said I was thinking, okay, well, let's look at this from, any kind of conspiracist sort of standpoint, taking a skeptical approach to it. This is not a meteor shower in the sense that we think it is. It's probably because they tell us about it, they know it's going to happen. So I was thinking, hey, what if it's actually that these shooting stars we see, what if they're actually a glitch in the simulation, So,
a glitch in the simulation.
Yeah, and we're supposed to assume that, it's this bit of debris that's coming off a comet, So we went down there. So I was like thinking, I'm gonna be seeing some aliens as well, because I was expecting to see some UFOs,
Yep.
Or maybe that's what the shooting stars actually are. Maybe they're not a glitch in the simulation. They're just UFOs. And so we're walking down there. It's pitch black. But the thing is, my dad was listening to the radio, and it was like some guy out in the country who was saying that it was a very clear sky, but where we fucking were, it was just cloud, just complete cloud. So you couldn't see anything. You'd see a couple of stars, but that was like it. So we're walking around around Kings Park, around the ovals and that, and then the wind just really suddenly picked up. So I was pretty rugged up, but yeah, then the wind picked up and it was fucking freezing. You know, my face is all chilling. I'm covering myself up my ass as I'm walking around. It was ridiculous. And then that was when, because my dad had his binoculars with him, and all he could see was, just the stars. And it was starting to clear up a bit, but we thought, this is disappointing. We can't see anything. And then Dad walks over to this park bench, and then that's when we saw this. Just some Mickey Mouse toys tied up to this fucking bench. And I have to say, like, my dad sat down beside it, and I couldn't see it until I just put my phone. I thought, I'll take a photo, whatever it is, because it looked weird. And then it's just these Mickey Mouse toys, like tied up to this bench. And then, okay, that's totally not creepy at all, because the thing was, they were clean. They weren't. I didn't bother touching them because they say you shouldn't touch Annabelle, anything that's carrying evil. So I saw that and I thought that's fucking weird that they're like they've just been put there or something. They weren't, they were clean and everything. So then I thought, well, what if, because then I said, okay, yeah, look, aliens exist, obviously, because the aliens put them here, It's probably likely that, some kid had their toys stolen, or maybe some kid was abducted, and now the aliens are just, putting the toys back, maybe. But, that was scary. So then, of course, I played Charles Manson's, one of his songs over there by the Manson family.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then I saw that at about 4 a.m. or something because I have a shit sleep. I can't sleep properly. So I wake up every now and then. And then I wake up and I see Brandon's put something on his story. I'm like, all right. And I'm just looking at it like, oh, he's gone on a night walk.
Yeah,
all
what
right.
the fuck?
It's kind of odd. And then he's taking a picture of these stuffed toys like tied up somewhere and it's got Charles Manson. No context or anything. I'm like, did this man just kill someone? What's
time
the
fuck? To come out from behind you. Illusion has been just a dream. Valley of death and I'll find you.
But I was creeped out. I was like,
always is always forever. No.
I had no context to that whatsoever. It was pretty
freaky. That's good.
Yeah.
Because it freaked the fuck out of me. But, and then, it was something interesting. While we were there, I was thinking about something in particular. I mean, not that really related to anything.
Aliens?
We didn't see much else. Well, yes, actually. When Neil Armstrong, right, when they land on the moon, if you believe they land on the moon, of course, which they fucking did.
Of course they did.
What were do you recall, or just from?
Do I recall the footage?
No. What were Neil Armstrong's first words when he stood on the moon?
Remember, one small step for man.
Yeah.
Wasn't that it?
Mankind, yeah, but he fucked it up, sort of, yeah. But okay, so that's what we're led to believe. But apparently, this is his actual words. The very first thing he said when he
holy shit, motherfucking aliens everywhere. No.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, really?
Pretty much.
I was making a joke.
Yeah. So this is it isn't just a conspiracy. They've actually found the original recording. Because what happened was,
oh, really?
When that was broadcasted for about 20 seconds, the audio was it dropped out,
scuffed. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It just completely. So they're saying, okay, maybe the government had something to do that they edited it out or something before it went to air, or it just legitimately dropped out because you can actually listen to the audio itself. And it's Armstrong stepping foot on the moon, and it's the first thing he says, and it's something along the lines of, wow, you're not going to believe this. We're not alone. I can see out over there, on the horizon, there's like three little hovercrafts. So there's three little UFOs over there, and they're watching us. This is amazing. We're not alone, guys.
Fuck.
And then, that audio never went to air. And then that's the thing, is when he came back to Earth, he never spoke about it. So maybe the CIA...
That would make sense.
Because they would have taken him aside and said,
make
hey,
sense.
man, we're lucky that shit didn't go to air. Don't you fuck, like when Luke said, kind of air, and they cut it out, It's like a similar thing, so we're not going to talk about it,
But it does make sense or even if they did say something and then they cut it out, it does make sense for them to do that because, you could think of the CIA as a bad thing, but they're here to protect us. And if we know the knowledge that aliens are real, it'll just fuck your mind.
That's right. It's
everyone would freak out, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so they'd rather protect us from that information than...
It's exactly like what we were saying last episode about how, if
it was a simulation and it just told us, we would all freak out.
The fuck out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, they're doing that to protect us. But I believe that. I believe that that's pretty, probably saw...
Pretty spooky shit,
Reminds me of, what was that movie? Apollo 18.
18, oh, yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah, the mission that you didn't hear about. Yeah. What was it, the second last mission or some shit? Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah. But, fuck, imagine... Damn, he would have got a good payout, though.
To keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
But we say what was interesting, we had Apollo 16.
Yep.
Charles Duke, who was in that mission, he's the youngest man to have ever stepped foot on the moon. And when I was in year 7, he actually came to our school and had a talk. He
really
did a presentation and spoke to us. It was really cool, but not I had no idea who he was at the time. And then I found out that he was in mission control during the Apollo 13 mission. I thought, okay, that's cool. You just see that guy in the background of the movie,
Yeah. I'm famous now. No.
But he had some interesting stories and some things that I found out just in the past week that he didn't tell us, on the actual day, I don't think. But one of them that he did was while they're up there, they were trying to I guess kind of reenact the Super Bowl or whatever, just mucking around, having some fun, filming it and stuff while they're on the moon. And because when you're in space, you're weightless, you're completely weightless.
Yeah.
And there's that...
That's scary.
Because there's that misconception that if you fall over in space, that's not a big deal because you're weightless, nothing matters. But see, what happened to Charles Duke was, while he was up there, he had a near-death experience. He nearly died on the moon because they're mucking around stuff. I think he actually fell for another reason. I think that was another story they were doing the Super Bowl. He was trying to pick something up. He dropped something and tried to pick it up, and it's awkward, so it's funny. It's like a montage of him trying to pick up his spanner or whatever. And then suddenly he falls back. Now you look at it and it's not such a big deal because it takes a while for it's falling back in slow motion. But the thing is that his suit and his the big back of it and everything, the whole astronaut suit, it weighs about the same much as he does. In the real world. With gravity and everything. Now, but when I think it's something to do with the axes and the way with the pressure of space. Yeah, when you kind of fall back, it would pull you down. So he could have easily have crushed the whole system, had he hit it on a rock or something. So,
how you're talking about you come down stuff. There's been instances where astronauts have actually gone into space, and they've just been in their what do they call it? Not a space station, but the shit that's just like
the mothership, or just the little
the mothership. No, just like the place they go to, they hang out. The little hangout area. One of them actually got stuck. Yeah, well, yeah. They got stuck in midair because since there's you're weightless, like you said, he continuously because you can't push yourself. To get back to something. So he was stuck.
He was just still.
He was stuck.
Oh, okay.
And he couldn't move. He could spin around, but everywhere he'd push, he wouldn't move forwards or backwards because that's how it works.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you can just move it and you'd go that way you're underwater or something and you push yourself and swim. He's stuck there in that position and they had to get someone to push him back so he can actually get the momentum to grab something.
Yeah.
Imagine how scary that would be,
It's a very scary
that situation.
Yeah.
What if you were in space? Because this is a horrifying thing. Yeah, space is beautiful. It's infinite. It's just amazing. But imagine being stuck. You know what I mean? You just something goes wrong. Like in that movie, I can't fucking remember. I've seen so many space movies where that chick was like, "I'm going from satellite to satellite." And she was surviving by herself. Was that Gravity? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. Yeah.
that wouldn't have worked because the satellites aren't that close together. But like, imagine doing that and you just stop midway. You wouldn't be able to do anything except watch the Earth and then just live the rest of your starve to death or die.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd be stuck in that loop unless someone sees you, which is unlikely. But you'd just be stuck there. Ooh, McFlurry, huh?
McFlurry time.
McFlurry. But you'd just be stuck there. You know what I mean? And it'd be scary. Like it'd be beautiful to see, but the amount of like risk that comes with that as well is insane.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing, because you think, why would we lie about with space travel and traveling to the moon if it resulted in all these deaths and that? Like, like that.
Yeah.
Like the thing was, I was watching that movie, First Man with Ryan Gosling, and it shows like the first Apollo mission, and it was his friend, it was in his neighbor who was doing it, and they died in the test run when they were just making sure everything worked. The thing blew up. There was a fire and it blew up.
Yeah.
So all these trial and errors and that, it's a really serious thing. Like, why would they completely, bullshit it? Why would they lie about it?
It's like the people going to Mars. Wasn't that a thing? Like people who are going off to go test if Mars is okay for humans. Like it'd take them ages to get there. Wasn't that a thing? Like they sent the drone or the little you know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the word of it right now.
The little robot.
The little robot guy.
Yeah.
Little Wally.
Yeah, that's it, a little Wally, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think they're talking about sending humans. Well, maybe they have, but the requirements was you have to have no family.
Yeah, that's right, and you have
to be the only person.
And it has because it's a one-way ticket. You're not.
Yeah, you're not coming back.
Yeah. I remember that, and I was hearing there was some like these people who were training for it or something. Yeah. Interesting.
Question: why would you? I don't know. Like, would you go if there was a one-way ticket if you had no family or anything? Because you wouldn't be coming back, and then you'd have to survive. There's going to be a point where you're going to run out of shit. And it's going to take ages to get to Mars as well. It doesn't take 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It's not quick. It's not like the same way as it is to the moon. It takes a while. You don't get there in 5 seconds. Because I feel like I think they get what was I going to say? I feel like you'd do that if it was. I feel like the people that are wanting to do it, it's not they haven't got anything to live for, but that is what they feel their destiny is.
Their passion.
It's something that they want. Because I mean, space exploration, that's some serious fucking shit. That you're going to know,
Yeah.
If you're the first lot of people to go there, you're pretty famous. You've been a part of this incredible program that's, it's.
Could you imagine if when they arrive at Mars, they're just like, oh yeah, and the one thing the Wally camera thing didn't pick up was a bunch of fucking aliens, and they're like extremely hostile. So as soon as they land, they just instantly get
yeah. Imagine that.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing at that.
Sorry, but imagine it's like some predator shit. They're like
they
camouflage or whatever.
Yeah, and then it goes. It's like, what was that? And because the Wally camera couldn't pick it up because they knew how to avoid it, and that might be why. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, actually, maybe
conspiracy why it broke down and died.
And they didn't attack Wally because they couldn't sense him. It didn't. It wasn't an issue.
It wasn't warm blooded or anything, so it didn't have its heat vision. But maybe it did. Like it was sussing it out, but it just so happened to it stuffs up cameras when it comes near it. Like the static and shit comes up, so technology doesn't work around it. I don't know, but that'd be funny. Not funny. I mean, it wouldn't be funny for them because they'd be dead. And it's just my dark humor coming in. But
it's an interesting conspiracy. Yeah, interesting theory. Yeah. Is your audio all right, man? You're getting a bit scuffed.
I think the computer's gone.
All right, we'll be right back. What happened there?
I don't know, man. I think I got too close to the truth, and the CIA cut me off. They cancelled me.
Fuck, man.
I'm just checking for snipers.
Watch out, man. Well, speaking of CIA and getting to the truth, chaos came today.
Chaos.
Secret of the 60s and the CIA and MK Ultra and all that Manson shit. So
and And what was the thing they're doing? Giving hippies LSD and
That's it, man. Yep.
all that shit.
JFK and everything else.
Giving Charles Manson fucking LSD and making him see God and see the world, and then making him go insane.
That's it. And you know, convincing Jack Ruby to kill JFK, but not knowing why. And
yeah, because
shit.
all the drug testing and
That's right, man. The
ketamine
Manchurian
and
Candidate, all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Mm.
But anyway, Mars. I like the chocolate. It's very nice. Have you ever had a Mars bar and batter?
Yes, they're fucking amazing.
How
Incredible. Yeah. As soon as I discovered they're the fish and chip shop, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing.
I was addicted for a while. It was just so good. It's just the melted. As soon as you bite into it, it's just melted and beautiful.
We used to make them a lot. We'd
Did you?
Yeah, because my dad would make beer batter, and we'd have fish and chips, and then go, shall we fucking deep fry some Mars bars?
Mars bars, nice, dude. I could really go for one right now, but also for dieting reasons, maybe not, because that's really bad. It's really bad.
Yeah. No, dude. Oh yeah, but what were you saying before about the with the UFOs and that, and how was it the Pentagon?
Oh, how the
released?
Pentagon. Yeah, the Pentagon had released footage of UFOs or something. Like there was three videos that were released or something.
Yeah, I've got something here that might.
That's interesting.
Shed some light on that.
And I saw something about the Blink-182, like aliens exist thing, but I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, they released.
Oh wow! So Navy pilots saw this while they were training.
That's usually how it happens. That's usually like what I've seen from most UFO sightings. Has been planes.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Ooh. Okay. For the audio listeners, we're watching a video released from the Pentagon.
Oh, Blink-182.
Blink-182. Copyright. No, it's okay. I can't hear it anyway. But
Tom DeLonge's a fucking weirdo, man. What the hell? I remember.
Yeah.
I remember seeing some shit in there before about
aliens exist.
And remember when he was showing Joe Rogan that video of this UFO and he's trying to explain it and stuff, and then he's like, yeah, you're amazed, aren't you? And he's like, if I saw that in a movie, I'd ask for my money back. I think that is terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
See, the thing is though, I don't know. Have you ever had like? Okay, I don't know what I'm trying to say right now. I've got a few things going through my mind, and I want to say one thing, but I'm saying two things at the same time. Okay. All right, I'm just going to go with this one.
All
so, you know, have you ever had that? Like, you have a thought, and then the other thought wants to jump over it and then tries to, that's what just happened to me. All right, have you ever had, like, not an encounter, but have you ever seen a UFO before, or thought you've seen a UFO, or had any encounters?
No, I don't think I've had any close encounters of the third kind.
No?
No.
Like you haven't even seen in the distance? Well, funny story.
Yeah. Story time.
Story time. When we were driving up to Queensland, there is areas where you get to long, quiet roads, right, where you don't see anyone for ages, and the light pollution hasn't hit there, so you can see the sky perfectly.
Okay.
There was this one time where we saw this.
Excuse you.
Where we saw, I can't remember. We saw some lights. It was like 3 red lights, like this together, just sitting there, like the Predator's like laser beam thing that you see. It was sitting there in the sky, and we're like, oh yeah, plane, but that doesn't make sense. And it was sitting there, and then all of a sudden, it just kind of went like, it moves a little bit, and we're like, oh yeah, it's probably just a plane. And then it would go down, and we're like, that's not right. And then it just went, phew.
Okay, and then it suddenly took off.
And it just took off. It just disappeared. And we didn't see it again. And we're like, that's not anything a plane could do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I can't really add much to the story to make it very like, oh, but that's what we saw. And we weren't smoking pot, I'll tell you that. So we didn't take any edibles when we were going up there.
How old were you?
I was about, I can't remember. Maybe it was not the last time I went, but the time before. So maybe about 12.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think about 12 years old. But I don't know. It could be anything again, but it is. It does not seem very plane-like to just go upwards like that, because that's not how planes. Well, it didn't go up like pointwards. It just went up.
Unless it's like a fighter jet and just lifted itself up.
Yeah.
Could they have 3 lights? Maybe a light at the front and then 2 lights on the wings.
Maybe.
Possible. It's entirely possible.
But it was an unidentified flying object, so in my eyes, because I didn't know what it was, and it was unidentified. So that's the book definition of UFO,
aliens.
Man, so
it was a fucking alien, man.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, shit,
aliens, bro. But yeah. What's your like honest opinion on it though about aliens?
Aliens. Yeah, I think they exist. I mean, I can't prove it, but I can't not
neither.
It. It's like I feel like
but it just makes sense. And why would we be the only ones?
Yeah, and then when they say about how like intelligence and that, well, maybe if they are that intelligent, they have no reason to be here. Maybe they've already, like you see certain things.
They just look at us like, oh, look at those bunch of monkeys. You know what I mean? Like those chimpanzees that haven't figured out how to fly yet.
Yeah, exactly. Like you look at things in ancient times. They say, oh, we don't know how to build the fucking pyramids. Although we do. That was slaves.
Yeah, exactly.
But there are some things that were
like the Stonehenge.
Yeah, weird things like that. That it's like how could were we that intelligent back then, and how were we able to do these kind of things? Yeah, because there's those theories that aliens came down and gave people the tools they needed, or gave them advice, told them, what they needed to do in order to.
Yeah. But like with the Stonehenge though, isn't it like they're like huge ass motherfucking rocks? I don't think anyone had the equipment to move that properly from the beach to the fucking the way they are. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
unless there's a whole bunch of them moving, but still, yeah.
Yeah. Unless people like pile up and then manage to do that, which would have been why would they do that in the first place? I don't know. But
yeah. It's entirely possible.
What about the triangle? The Devil's Triangle in the ocean, where people just suddenly disappear.
What's this?
I've Devil's heard of
Triangle, it, but I don't know much about it.
You don't know much about it? Well, it's said that whenever something goes in that triangle, they disappear.
Oh, okay. So is that where some theories that MH370 might have gone?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Shit, okay.
Because it flew through there. I'm fairly sure. And it disappeared.
Fuck, man.
I'm pretty sure there's been movies about it as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I might be wrong. Was it Journey to the Center of the Earth I'm thinking of? I don't know if that was related to that, but I don't know. I don't know if it's like the Devil's Triangle. If it's really like true or not. But then again, I don't know. Everyone has gone that way.
Well, it's true.
Lived to tell the tale.
I've watched a lot of that, that amazing top 10 channel.
Number 9, Footnotes.
I was what's this?
No, don't worry, it's a meme. Keep going. Keep going.
Of course it fucking is.
Keep going.
No, they were like these all these encounters with the devil or whatever. And I remember one of them that was interesting was it's this place in I can't remember if it was
the devil.
If it was Scotland or Ireland, it was
fuck.
And there's there's this bridge, right? And back when it was built, this was back in the 16th century, whatever, back when it was built, and there was a story, this legend about how there was this woman who, she was about to cross the bridge, and then the devil was there, and then because she needed to get across, she had no choice to get across. I'm probably butchering the story, trying to remember it, but yeah, she needed to. To get I think it was like what the fuck was it? He was going to give her good luck or whatever. No, I think it was just if the first human to cross this will be killed or something,
Oh,
you know, and she had no choice but to cross the bridge, you know. So what she did was she grabbed like a toy or something and just threw it across the bridge. And her dog that was, oh, that's right, it was her and her dog were trapped or whatever, and the only way to get through was past the bridge. And the devil was like, before you cross here, yeah, the first person to walk past you will be killed. And he's implying that's going to be her. So she threw something across there that her dog went to fetch, and the devil was really pissed off at how, you know, humiliated it was, you know. And then yeah, so he didn't even bother killing the dog. He just disappeared, and now he never returned to that spot because of just how humiliated he was. So it's known as the Devil's Bridge, even though it's like, I mean, it's not like he's there. He's, you know, he left. And then I remember there was this other one which was interesting. Was about this story. There was this dude who he was like a local, like, you know, weirdo, who was saying how he played cards with the devil. Like he play poker with the devil.
That sounds fun.
And he said that it's really hard to beat the devil in a game of poker or whatever, you know.
It's fucking good.
Yeah, that's right. And this guy managed to beat him, right? And the devil was really fucking angry at this. He's like, "You fucking dog, you know, you beat me." So he picked.
I'm sure he said that.
Yeah, probably. Dog, fucking dog, cunt. So he goes over to this pool table, picks up the 8-ball, and just throws it at the guy's face. And he quickly moves out of the way. It smashes the window and goes out and lands in a pond outside his backyard. Yeah. And he told everyone the story and like, "Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. You know, you're a nut. You got no idea." And then it was like 100 years later, maybe 200 years later, where this has been like the legend or whatever. And someone who's moved in there is, you know, has heard that story and think, "Oh, that's pretty funny. That's interesting." And then because they were going to move, they were going to turn the pond into some garden, so they drained all the water out of the pond. And what did they find at the bottom of the pond? This 8-ball. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand. Why would I don't think the devil's that much of a fucking little bitch that he has a temper tantrum over losing something, because I don't know. You think about it, he's like a celestial being. Would he really give a shit if he lost to something? Like,
yeah, that's
you know what I mean? Like, what has he got to lose? I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of weird that people are like, and he like had a hissy fit and he fucking like got sad and he like did devil powers and did this shit. And it's like, bruh, have you not heard the devil went down to Georgia? He was not very upset in that thing. He just gave him a golden fiddle.
Have some sportsmanship, you know? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know? What are your thoughts on the devil?
I don't know.
What are your thoughts?
As in, do I believe in him?
Do you think if he is real, do you think he is pure evil, or what do you think?
Well, so there's a lot of stories, like, you know, with him, Paradise Lost and the Fallen Angel and everything.
Yeah.
Him being depicted as sort of an anti-hero, as like, you know, who was banished and suffered and everything. But from what I hear, I don't know, I think the devil is...
Because, you know, everyone says the devil made me do it. And, you know, they use it as like a...
Oh, yeah.
Not a curse word, but they use it as like a negative.
Yeah, okay, well, let's say for a second that... Yeah, the God and devil, they're manifestations or whatever of good and evil. So, you know, if you've done something terrible, you know, it's a sign of evil. Okay, so it's the devil. Or you do something good, it's a sign of good, because good comes from the word God, as we know, you know. So, I don't know. But then if God and the devil are real in that exact, like, physical kind of entity kind of sense, yeah, I don't know. But I like that point. Who was it that made it? It was about if you end up in hell, like why would the devil punish you when you go to hell for being bad? I mean, you're one of the boys, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
see, that's the main contradiction of the whole thing, though. You know, like, because like it says you get punished, but if he's punishing you, doesn't that make him doing a good thing for punishing you for doing bad things?
Yeah, well, that's it.
And shouldn't hell be this bad place? So, you know, maybe it's wrong, and it's not. He's possibly good because he punishes the bad. Because if you say he's pure evil, which I've read about a lot, people like he's pure evil. You know, that's a whole contradiction, because if he goes to punish you and you'd be like, but you're doing good, he'd be like, fuck, you stumped me. Do some coke with me or something. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense for it to be like that, though, because then that's just a loophole that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a strange.
What did he do again? Like, well, I haven't actually read the Bible, but he had a rebellion, right?
Yeah. Well,
but what was that?
I don't really know much about it, but I think it was that. Well, because he came down in the form of a snake, and tempted Adam and Eve. You know, he tricked them. You know,
did it with Eve.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird tale, but it's like, I don't know. I think because you always see these stories about it. He's very deceptive and he tricks you. He's meant to be manipulative and to trick you into doing it. I think that's kind of a metaphor for doing, bad kind of things that are, Yeah, I don't know. It's like that fucking. I was watching Carrie the other day. Yep. I was rewatching that, and I think it still holds up pretty well. The whole thing of bullying and and like the way taboos like of the time, and that with religion and that and in bigotry, and that it's because it's interesting. It's like her mother is just this complete utter psychopath. Like she's just totally totally insane and just completely brainwashed, to the point where, everything, is the devil that isn't, everything that isn't exactly what it's, what she's teaching is the devil. Like when Carrie has her period for the first time and she's freaking out about it because her mother had never told her about it, so then she goes, I hear this happened to you. Yeah, that means you've committed lust, young lady. Get into the fucking dark chamber and pray. The devil's tempted you. It's like, what the fuck?
Foosball.
It's like,
foosball is the devil.
That's it. Fucking water boy. Why is everything the devil to you, mama?
Girls, they're the devil.
Little girls are the devil. Yeah.
Are the devil. But, yeah. But also, I feel like, I've been watching too much Lucifer as well. Okay. But it is... Because I know you haven't actually watched it, but I just finished it. I've been, I have been mentioning I've been watching it. I just finished it with Mum. She loves it.
She liked it?
She was never going to watch it because I remember when I originally told her about it.
She's like, I don't think so. Yeah.
Oh, watch that, about the devil and stuff, because I don't know what her standpoint is on religion.
Yeah.
But, she's like, I don't know if I want to see something that kind of like portrays the devil as good. I'm like, all right. I'm like, but watch it. So I forced her to watch one episode and she was hooked. After like watching a couple, and then we finally finished it. But what I find interesting about the show is it kind of makes more sense to put it this way: is the way that hell works is it works by your guilt and what you've done in your lifetime. So say if you've done something bad, like kill someone, and you didn't mean to kill them, then when you go to hell, you'll be replaying that over and over and over in your head. Like over and over for eternity. Like you'll be doing those actions that made you feel shit over and over and over again.
Jesus Christ.
So it works as in like guilt. So, or not just guilt, but if you're genuinely like a shit person as well, those things, those bad things that you've done, they happen over and over and over again on repeat.
Yep.
And I think it said something about in the show, like you can leave at any time. Like you're allowed to leave, but no one can. Because they're stuck in the self-loathing and the hate and the...
Sounds
and that's what it is.
So Hotel California, man.
Exactly. It's Hotel California.
You can leave anytime. So how do you
leave anytime, but you're stuck.
How do you get to heaven, though? In what does he say? Does he talk about what...
Well, from what I've seen if you don't have a guilty conscience, then, you can end up in heaven as well. And obviously, if you're... It's not about like, from what I've seen, bad people in the show can actually end up in heaven if they've done stuff to redeem themselves. Like they can, like if they take a bullet for someone, if they're selfless, usually the selfless people and people who are, contributing to other people's health and, care about other people, like genuinely care and, obviously haven't killed anyone, then, or done something like super like unforgivable, that would traumatize other people, then you would go off to heaven, but it's still a roll of dice, and a lot of the show relies on self-judgment as well. So you put yourself into these situations as well and how you feel. So like, because I think, I don't want to spoil it for people who have seen it, but I'll just say it's because I was about to say something that would have completely spoiled the season, like whatever you're watching. If you're starting to watch it or you're halfway through, I would have spoiled it. But self-judgment, like it works for people, like if you're guilty, then you feel like you're going to be punished, and then you're going to be punished in hell, because that's the whole concept, is you get punished for the bad shit you do.
Yeah.
And the devil isn't really like pure evil, because that contradicts the whole thing,
Yeah.
and making it, and it wouldn't be so bad, because then people think, hell yeah, I want to go to hell, listen to heavy metal music and do some coke with like hookers. People think it's pretty cool, but in the way of it works, as in you're guilty and you replay the shittiest parts of your life over and over and over again on repeat for eternity. That's a lot worse than hanging out with the devil and playing poker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think he really has anything to do with it as well. He's kind of just like, he watches over to make sure, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. But see, I feel like, but see, what I don't get is, well, I guess I do get, is the way that they say if you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, all your sins and everything, are
I think that's bullshit.
You think that's bullshit?
And I think that's bullshit. Because what if you did something fucked up and then this went, and then I accept Jesus now, and then what? You're going to get into heaven? All your sins are just going to disappear like that?
Well, that was the joke in Family Guy for Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
But
that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but it does though, because if Jesus died for all our sins, that means that anyone who'd accept him, it's like that. I remember there was this preacher who he does a lot of these videos where he talks to atheists or whatever, and then tries to convince them that to no longer to have some kind of faith. And he says that, okay, well, let's say, so he says to them, he asks them 3 questions. He goes, have you ever lied? They go, yes. Have you ever taken the Lord's name in vain? They go, yes. Have you ever looked at someone with lust? Yes. Actually, no, not the lie one. It was, had you ever, stolen anything? They go, yes. Okay. So you're a thief, a blasphemist, and you've committed lust. Now by, you look at, what they teach you in Catholicism, these are all, deadly sins, you'll go to hell for that. He goes, okay, but so, and then they go, oh, but I don't believe in hell. And then he goes, okay, well, that could be the same as if someone who's standing on trial for murder and they're going to be sent to electric chair. They go, well, look, Your Honor, I don't believe in the electric chair. It's kind of a thing. So if hell and heaven and hell really do exist, you've got to be in a position to, to accept that's what your fate is going to be. And then he goes, okay, but when you're in jail, what happens when someone bails you out? You get let off. Someone, they pay for your fines. So it was that idea that when Jesus died, he was dying for all of our sins. So that meant that anyone who believed in him, anyone who would use his name, would be free from sin, because his suffering, because it was the suffering that he went through that has allowed for all this to happen. So if you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, he's taking the sins, he's paying for those crimes,
Yeah. But that's also like not fair though, if you think about it that way, because in that like logic, then if someone was on death row and they decided, you know what, I want to go to heaven, so they'll just believe in Jesus and then start like, getting rid of all their sins, then they'll go to heaven. But they don't deserve that, you know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they go to heaven if they just suddenly say, I believe in Jesus or something? Or like, if someone like did something to traumatize someone else and have done a lifetime of like bad shit, and then right before they go, okay, I believe in Jesus, and then because of Jesus' like suffering,
Mm.
they get to go to heaven because of the sins that. But that doesn't make sense, because then the people who are now alive have to deal with the shit that they've done, and this person gets to live in paradise.
Yeah, I see what you mean, but
That's not really
see,
fair, though.
yeah,
And
well,
then what's the point of hell? If they can just say they believe in Jesus and then they'll go to heaven.
yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense. But I mean, because that's right. I mean, if Osama bin Laden, they're joking, but I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Amen. Hey,
Yeah.
and then I don't think it works like that. It's there has to be some kind of proof of it. But
change.
But don't you believe in that forgiveness of someone if they are able to repent, if they are able to see the wrong of their ways, and they are able to.
I'd like to believe is, like, I reckon that if that was the case of the thing, like, they can be forgiven, like, people can change, but they have to show. They have to have a way, not like in the last second just go to church and be like, okay, I want to, like, repent these sins, and then they're like, okay, you've been clean just by doing that, and then they can go back to doing bad shit, and then they can go, repent their sins again, and because that's just constant lying to themselves.
That's abusing it, yeah. But see, that's the whole thing of the guilty conscience, though, because then you're not being genuine, genuine. But if you can get to that point where you're
selfless, and
and
that's when I think you deserve
accept
that.
your soul, because that's the thing, because what Jesus was trying to teach us was that you should forgive everyone, and while it's hard, it's really fucking hard when you have got real horrible pieces of shit. But the thing is, it's that thing of love your enemy, you shouldn't hate them, and while a lot of us do, and we can't help it, and it's understandable. You can empathize with hatred for that kind of stuff, but at the same time, it was like what Jesus was doing. His followers were, he had Mary Magdalene was a prostitute. People go, Jesus, fucking idiot! What are you doing hanging out with this horrible woman? And he's with thieves and that, and he's trying to teach them that it's. It's to love everyone as yourself. Love thy neighbor, and then if you can forgive someone, it's a tricky.
But it gets very dicey. I'd say with some of this stuff.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, I'm not saying these things to be rude or anything. I'm just saying these things to, like, be like, what's the word, like, skeptical.
No, it's
like,
good. It's good.
Just asking questions.
Yeah.
I'm not like saying I'm an atheist and, like, fuck everyone or whatever. I'm like, because I believe, I've said I don't fully believe in it, but I can be convinced. I just need the right. If you got the information, you can show me, and then
that's right.
I'm open to anything. I'm not closed off or anything. I'm pretty open to believing different stuff and whatever. And I'm not saying anything to be rude. I'm just just asking questions about it,
Well, nothing that I've said so far is my opinion. This is all just from what I've heard, and I don't know what to believe of it either. I'm very skeptical of the whole thing. It doesn't, But I'd like to think.
But, like, if you think,
at the end of the day, at the end of eternity, that what Jesus was trying to do, I believe that. That repentance, or that that selflessness, and that there is a way to be if heaven or whatever that does exist, because I mean, what my dad was always telling me growing up was that God will forgive you no matter what. That was what, because that's the God he believes in, one that's always forgiving as long as you believe in him. But then, what comes a question when you have got horrible pieces of shit? I guess, well, that's not up to us. That isn't up to us to judge them whether they should go to heaven. Hell, you can burn in hell, but ultimately, if it's God, it's up to him.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not convinced by the God that we're taught. I like to think of God as not. I don't really picture God as a person,
dude, like a person.
Yeah. As that
it's
kind of
more of
it's a
universal. Yeah.
So if God is a being, I'd say it's God is kind of everything. He's kind of Because I think that there's an understanding that I don't know what kind of belief it is, but it's a belief that God is someone who created created the world and everything, and then left it. So he doesn't have any control on anything. He's just created everything.
But that makes
let it go.
sense. That makes sense if it's like that. Like, and he gives people the judgment to themselves.
That's right.
So people judge themselves, and they make themselves if they're worthy. Even if they're like a psychopath that believes that they don't care, they don't feel anything, they will still probably either go to heaven or hell based on the judgment of guilty conscience.
Because now we have that. Yeah, it's that free will. So when people say, "Oh, if God really existed, he wouldn't let God wouldn't let all these horror.
He wouldn't let this happen to me."
I'm like, okay, well maybe that isn't what he can control, maybe, because that's the thing. That's why you shouldn't look at God as this almighty thing that's gonna. Because sometimes I'm also like, but who is he to judge me? It's like,
and
but then again, I
shouldn't 7 billion people. Why should he care about one person?
Well, that's it. It. Yeah. Do you really think God's got time for every single?
Yeah.
Maybe
he's got to manage. He's got to manage the other places.
Maybe that is the higher power, like, kind of thing, the higher being of what he is. That he is able to do that. But at the same time, it's like, I think God is within us. And if we believe that there's a God within us, I think, because that's the other thing. It's like when they say, from whatever someone believes in, it's real to them. What they believe in is real to them. So that's why I don't think. I like to think, spiritually speaking, there is another. There's another.
There is something else.
There's something else there.
I'd like to think that as well, because I don't want to, like, because I've had family members pass away, and I've had pets pass away. I don't want to think they're just dying in the ground, because that's not. That makes me feel pretty crushed.
Exactly.
I don't think that. I want to think that they're like happy, and they're in a good place.
And they're looking down at me or something.
Well, not so much looking down at me, but like just able to just feel bliss, or like in Duncan Trussell's thing when he's talking about how, like, there's a piece of them that love. What if they pass away? It's just that love. That's the feeling that they feel. For eternity. It's that feeling they're just kind of floating on by. In that spiritual form of just love.
That's it.
And just bliss.
But then you see people who are, because then you get into not necessarily demons, but like unsettled souls. Souls that aren't able. And I guess that would make sense as people who've died in horrible ways, and they they're suffering in eternity because they can't put themselves to rest. Sorry, that just reminded me of another story. Amazing top 10. Shout out. There was another one of those creepy, ghost stories, and it was one where some guy, right, he was driving along a road, and it was really late at night. He was all alone, of course, and this is some urban legend, and there's been a few accounts of it, and then this guy, he's driving on this dark road late at night. And then he all of a sudden sees this woman, like, standing in the middle of the road, waving him down. And so he pulls up beside her, and it's like, so it's raining. So he goes, "Oh, do you want a lift?" And he goes, "Yes, please." And then, gets in, and then he goes, "Okay, so where are you going? Where do you want me to take you home?" And she doesn't say anything, and she just says, "Slow down to this bend." And then he goes, "Oh, okay." So he slows down at the bend, and then comes around, and then she says that she goes, "I died back there." And then he goes, "I didn't want you to experience the same fate. That's why I asked you to slow down." And then he pulls over the side of the road and goes, "Oh," and then she disappeared. Of course, but it's like that, that thing of like, so okay, well that's a nice soul, to be constant, in the afterlife. You had a tragic death, but now you're helping people. You're not like fucking just haunting them and fucking,
Yeah. See, I think that there is probably another plane, like there's another level, because we see things, in 3D? Is that how it works? We see things in 3D.
Three-dimensional, yeah.
Yeah. Ants see things in 2D. So they're not really, they're not aware of us. They don't see things in 3D. They see things in 2D. That's why when you draw a line, they kind of like stop and go, "What the fuck?" And like they just kind of, they see everything flat, and they just kind of just go through things, and they don't really actually see everything. So if we see things in 3D, you know, what if we saw things in 4D? Then surely there would be another thing, because with the ants, I don't think they're actually aware of us. I could be just spewing bullshit right now, but also the ants, they might not be aware of us. And if we just draw something just appears in front of them and they go, oh shit, okay, something's in front of me, it's time to go away. It's kind of like the same with us. What if there's another level to it? We just can't see it because we're in 3-dimensional. What if something's in 5D, you know, and they kind of see us like we're the ants, and they just kind of like,
yeah, well, that's right.
Move forwards. You know what I mean? Like, because if it works for 2-dimensional, why wouldn't it work continuing past us?
It makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes sense. Why wouldn't it go that far? It's just we can't comprehend it.
Well, because it's like the thing of how animals, especially dogs, they have a sixth sense, you know. They're able to hear things that we can't. They hear pitches. They hear like the pitch in a phone that we don't hear. Yeah.
Exactly. So why couldn't it keep going further? Like, why does it stop? Why is there a point where it just stops, like where we stand? It stops where we stand because we can't see any further.
Yeah, because
I guess
that it goes any further? The next few steps is all energy and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, spiritual energy,
like spiritual plane and spiritual. Yeah, exactly. So maybe when you die,
that's radiating. Yeah,
exactly. So maybe when you die, you go to these next levels, kind of thing. You never know. It could be.
It's like when you have one of those little ghost things that give you little energy ratings. I remember.
Yeah.
Like you know, and you look at
those little
camera,
radar things. Yeah,
and sometimes you're able to look at something and then you see like these little stick figures. That's meant to be like a human or whatever, like a person, like near like a grave or something. And they're kind of like a weird, and you just see like, I remember seeing this on his documentary, the Buttsman did, where they're at this grave site and they're filming it and they're seeing this, that there's this energy and it's like a stick figure person and he's kind of like touching someone and then he goes, whoa, I could feel, you know, a bit of coldness or whatever, you know. Whatever it is, it's,
But it is interesting that way, you know. And same with those, like, rods. I don't know, I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah.
But they move with energy and the way things go.
Yeah.
So you hold them together like that. You hold them and then they'll just move by themselves in whatever direction they go. And then they'll start crossing over if something's near you and they'll move open and stuff. And
yeah, that's right. There's little weird
little rods. Yeah, because I had that. I went to the Ballarat. I think it was in Ballarat, that haunted insane asylum where the criminals went.
Sure.
Yeah, I went there and did a little ghost tour there, and I thought a majority of it was bullshit because they have to get the ratings up somehow.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it was rigged, but there also was some truth to it that I reckon was pretty real. Like, I do reckon it could be like spirits there, but a lot of the shit they said was like, shut the fuck up. You're just selling the money, because everyone was shitting themselves. And there was this point where we went down this hallway and he goes, now everyone get against the wall. If you walk directly through the hallway, you will feel a real sickness. And if you think I'm lying, the last like 2 people we went through, they thought I was lying and they walked through and they're now spewing for like 2 weeks.
Shit.
I was like, fuck off. That didn't happen. And then obviously, just saying, my mum and my sister, they said they felt sick in that room. Now, what I think happened psychologically, if you tell someone something's going to happen, they can do it to themselves.
Yeah, it's that placebo effect. Yeah, that is another thing that.
So that's what I think makes that
sense,
happened. I don't think she was spewing for 3 weeks. That's part of the bullshit tales. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's that's like to put into your subconscious to make you feel sick when you do
exactly.
it.
So you're thinking that
and it's pitch black as well,
when it happens.
by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're scared. It's pitch black, and he's telling
your
you this shit's going to happen anyway.
Fucking hell. Your imagination is taking. My sister just walked past, and I wasn't expecting that, and that scared me then.
Ghost.
Having this
But you know,
you're a ghost. She disappeared.
But on that tour, they gave us like different props and shit. A lot of it, again, I think was rigged. Like, we had a little radio that would say random shit. I'm like, fuck off.
Oh yeah, you'd say words and stuff. Like,
it'd say words.
Toy,
yeah.
Barn.
That's exactly what it'd say.
People.
And I was like, this is dumb. I don't think it's real. I don't think that's real. Because there was a guy I noticed there was a guy following us from like a couple feet away.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, he's probably speaking into it, being a fuckwit. But you know, it's part of it. They gotta sell the tickets somehow. It's gotta be scary somehow, you know. But you know, then we went into some like kitchen, and then they talked about how there used to be a criminal butcher that would feed people to people, and yes, that might be true, you know. But they're also using it as a scare factor, and they're like, okay, guys, now we're gonna turn off the lights, and it's gonna be pitch black, and we're just gonna stand here in the silence for like 5 minutes. And then everyone's freaking out. Oh my God, something touched me. I'm like, yeah, but it's the fucking wind. It's cold. It's Melbourne.
Yeah.
It's cold.
It's like whenever you feel an itch, you feel a tickle, you go, oh, yep, someone touched me.
But if they embed,
No.
like if they put it into your subconscious, you're going to be thinking ghost, demon, ghost, demon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, those rods though, that was kind of something else, because I remember I picked them up and I was holding them tight so I couldn't have any effect on them whatsoever.
Yeah, okay.
He told me to hold them loosely, and I was like, oh, I wonder why, so it can move in my hands. Okay, yeah, sure. So I held onto it tight, and then it would move still when I was holding onto it tight, and I wouldn't be, accidentally doing it to myself. I had my hands pretty straight,
Pretty still,
onto top of this piano, much like yours behind you. I was just sitting there so it wouldn't move, and I wouldn't accidentally make it like that. Don't play any devil keys. And they would move and they would cross over when we asked it questions.
Okay.
So that was interesting. That was something
that's peculiar.
That was interesting. But everything else about it, I think, was just to sell the money.
See, I feel like the part where I actually started, more kind of believing in, like, kind of, becoming more interested in, like, demonology and, like, ghosts, and that was after watching the Conjuring movies. And then looking into Ed and Lorraine Warren, like, and looking into a lot of like the real, like, the real stuff, the true case files, and actually looking into interviews with them, and they felt like very genuine people. Like, they weren't like pretentious about it all. They kind of just said, this is what we do, whatever, we believe in it. You might not believe in it, whatever, but we do look for, think we do. They do take a somewhat skeptical approach to this kind of things, because they do want to find out, whether things are legitimate or not. And then there was a whole Enfield poltergeist, which the second movie was based on, and how for like a year they'd been trying to that had been a case up until the Warrens finally went there. And then in the film, they couldn't find anything, and then they leave, and then they actually use evidence that the girl who was possessed on and off was saying that she was quite skilled in ventriloquism, so she could she was some, so she did say that she did fake some things, but not all of it, and then in the film, they leave because there's nothing.
Films being films.
Yeah, and but the thing is, where they leave the house, and because of course Lorraine Warren being clairvoyant, she couldn't get any readings at all from the house at all. And then when they left, then when they finally played the tapes back and it all made sense, and then she suddenly had this vision, and then realized that the reason why, she couldn't get a read on the house was because the hauntings were just a conduit of a demon that was trying to get through, using that to trick them and to send them away. So then that all kind of, it's interesting, because then there was also that, they're interesting films, because they also, while they, James Wan, he wants to scare you, like that at the end of the day, that's what he wants to do.
Based on a true story, and then they fucking stretch the truth a lot.
That's it. But I felt like with this, it feels kind of, it's scary as fuck, and that's what you want. You're there expecting it to freak you the fuck out. What's that? You weren't scared by The Conjuring?
Oh, I didn't find it that scared. No. Like, I've had ghost experiences, but I didn't find it that scary. I don't know. I think it might be just me. Like, I didn't find it that scary. Like, I believe it happened, but I didn't find it that.
Yeah, okay.
That's scary.
Well, it scared the fuck out of me when I saw it. Not as much now, but
how old were you when you saw it?
Probably 13.
Yeah.
See,
age does.
But see, we were watching it. Did you see it at the movies, or did you see it?
I saw it at home by myself.
Yeah, okay. Well, see, we watched it at home, but on our 10-foot projector screen with the sound blasting, so everything was heightened. It was like being.
I'm not saying it's not scary. I'm not saying it's not scary at all. It's just in my books of like ghost movies, because I think ghost movies are very, like, I don't know. For me, I'm very picky. I don't know why, but for some reason I found like that paranormal ghost dimension movie, that was kind of scary because I related to some of the shit that happened in it.
Okay, yeah.
Not the obvious portal bit where they walk through the fucking portal into a different dimension, but just everything adding up to it, like that, like the cameras and like picking up particles and then feeling the prickles on your neck and shit. I've felt those things before, and that's why I found it scarier, is if you relate to it. But
see, I don't know what I don't think I'm not sure what the scariest movie I've seen would be.
I don't mean
I'd kind of base it. No, but I'm just talking about in general.
Yeah.
When it comes to movies, because looking back on The Conjuring, I don't find it scary anymore.
But when you're younger, it would be a lot scarier. Because I remember I got the shit scared out of me by Predator.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah, because I wasn't used to its face. It just went.
Yeah.
I was like, oh! I was like, oh my god! You know what I mean? Like it's everything's 1,000 times scarier. Like when I watched Harry Potter, this is how I probably got like arachnophobia. When I watched the second Harry Potter film with the giant spiders, that scared the shit out of me, man.
But I don't know why this. I guess that's the way fear kind of works. It's generational and depends on your age. Like something that was scary years ago isn't as effective anymore because we're kind of growing accustomed to that kind of thing. But what I was going to say before was on the topic of The Conjuring. In the second one, although it's regarded as a meme, although I still really like the story very much. There was that old dude who's the one who's the first guy who's trying to help the family, and then there's that part where he's talking about this is all really interesting. We're gonna be hunting. That this is a really great experience, whatever, and then. And then Lorraine says to him, well, look, I think what's more important is the welfare of the family. And he goes, oh, I didn't mean it like that. And then he goes, my daughter passed away in a car crash several years ago. And, I had a few experiences after her death that felt somewhat paranormal, fourth dimensional. I felt that maybe she wanted to communicate with me. And then I thought, doing something like this would be interesting and kind of give me some clarity, so that way give me some comfort in knowing that she is somewhere, Yep. And it's because then that's taking back to the spiritual kind of aspect of it all, and I think because up until I saw The Conjuring, I really had no belief in ghosts like at all or demons. I was thinking, that's all a fantastical kind of thing. And then I saw that, and then I kind of, it was kind of looking in to what the Warrens had been doing, trying to help people, and also, kind of believing in it, but also they understand that, they're not going to convince everyone. But the fact is that, there are things that are that are inexplainable. There's just some things some occurrences that cannot be explained at all. Like their whole museum they've got in their basement of all these objects that, and I've heard that the worst time, so the real one, the worst times to be down there is between the hours of 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. Like that's when, because they actually do, if you're down there, that they can fuck with you because they, because of what they've been used in. And after Ed passed away, I think 2008, Lorraine was like, I'm never going down there,
Yeah, with the whole believing with the spiritual thing, something I don't know if I was ever going to talk about this on the podcast or if we're even fully my family or my mum and I are fully comfortable talking about it. But I'll talk about it anyway. But when my pop passed away, my mum had some spiritual shit with him.
Okay. Yeah.
So he passed away maybe 3 years ago, I think about that. That's my thing. It feels a lot sooner. It feels like it just happened still. But well, not just happened, but it feels like it happened a year ago. But anyway, when that happened was Mum was in Queensland and I was down here chilling, doing work. But Mum was up there and was talking to him. And then the night she was sleeping, at parents' house and stuff, and she was just sleeping. And she woke up all of a sudden and had some weird dream about my pop driving around in a motorcycle, which is one of his favorite, things in the world.
Yeah.
But he was driving on a motorcycle saying everything's all cool. I'm having a good time. And she saw all these lights flashing by him and stuff, as if they were people. And he was just, going around the mountains and stuff. And just so happens to be that time that she woke up was the time that we found out that he passed away.
Oh,
so right as he passed away, that experience happened to her as a dream.
Wow.
She was like, oh, that was weird. and then found out that he passed away. And and then later after that happened, she was like having a shower or something, and then he communicated to her. I don't know if anyone will really believe it, but I believe it. But he communicated to her. So it's called a Louie, which is like a nickname. He used to call her when he was younger. He'd be like, Louie, Louie, Louie. And she's like, inside your head. And she's kind of just like, Dad? Or, pop to me.
Mm.
And then he was talking about saying stuff like, oh, it's okay. Everything's going good. I'm feeling fantastic and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And he said something about like some like nickname to like Nan or something. I can't remember what it was. He goes, "Oh, tell your mum that she's been like a good girl or something like that." And that's like a keyword to my Nan. And my mum was like, "Oh, this is a very inappropriate time for you to be talking to me because I'm in the shower." And it was funny. And then Mum went out of the shower and went to go tell Nan or something. Yeah. And and when she said it to Nan, she goes, "Oh, he said for me to tell you to something like, said something about you're a good girl or something." And then Nan like burst into tears and went, "Oh wow, you really did speak to him and stuff and all that," which is a lot to take in, and it's very weird to listen to, and you go, "Oh shit, that's very, very weird," and not very believable. But at the same time, he was like communicating to her, telling her that like everything's okay. And
giving some
so I guess
clarity.
that's good.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So that's a nice thing to know. And we've, it recently was his birthday. Like I think it was a week ago.
Yeah.
And on that day, our microwave exploded.
Okay.
So it's a bit weird because he spiritual things like go through like electricity and stuff. So like our microwave started like malfunctioning and shooting out like sparks. And we thought that was weird. We need a new microwave. And then also our fridge outside exploded as well.
Okay.
Like it full on exploded. Like the whole power board exploded into a big fiery ball thing. And it
could have dropping pranks,
burnt
man.
the house down.
Pranks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. He was like, 100 of my boat. Nah. It was like, get pranked.
Yeah. Where are the ninjas? Fucking where's Scotty? Holy shit.
Where's Scotty and the ninjas, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah. But just I don't know. Like I thought it was weird, but the fact that like, when she was telling me originally, like, oh, I communicate with him, I was like, okay, this is like grief or something. But then like, when she like somehow found out that key word that no one knows about, that only Nan knows about, and she said it to Nan, that kind of like raises a couple of eyebrows.
Yeah.
About what happened and stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But that's like a really spiritual thing that happened. Like that's like I would say it's a ghost story, but like I don't know. I don't know if
communicating.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing. I feel like
I'd like to believe it. You know what I mean?
A lot of people would tell you that they've had experiences like that. And I feel like it's quite a common thing now. Because I feel that's one thing, if anything, we've always been telling ghost stories. We've always been talking about these unexplainable occurrences and communicating with people after they've died. It's something that's always, there's never been a time where it's been something that's completely, if you get what I mean, like it's never been something that's been looked down as, oh, that's total utter bullshit. There's always going to be,
But the thing is, though, even if it does happen, no one's going to believe you because it's so out of this world.
That's
you
it.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if you see aliens, no one's going to believe you.
And I feel like that's kind of the. Fuck, my dog just came down. That's kind of like the. I guess it sort of doesn't really matter then because it's something that's personal to you. So it doesn't matter that the rest of the world doesn't hear about it. Because it's something that,
but it's good knowledge though. Like
it's good
the
knowledge.
Fact that he was like, driving away in a motorbike and shit, and he was in his happy place.
So it's almost like she was seeing him in his moments as he was, like seeing him. Yeah,
but it's not like it was heaven. It was like he was happy, but in his own kind of heaven kind of thing.
Yeah,
which is odd.
Well, that's the thing. Then that's another talk about, like, once you die, maybe heaven to you, it's this.
is a different thing.
It's a beautiful memory that you've, that you can live in eternity for. It's something that, that's always.
Because, like, he used to ride motorbikes and stuff, and he used to really love it and stuff.
Motorcycle
And
enthusiast.
then, you see that. So, he could be, like, living the best parts of his life on repeat. You know what I mean? Like, how hell works like that. Heaven could work the opposite way.
Yeah.
Everything that's best about your life, everything good that you've done,
Constantly
you just feel good for eternity,
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, it's a good point. See, I'm just thinking, my grandfather passed away back in about 2005, and I don't think I've asked my dad about it. I don't think he was a doctor, so was very smart, but I don't think. I think he was kind of at a point where, like, he didn't have much belief in spiritual things, in the or he might have, but I know he wasn't religious. He didn't have any sort of interest in that. But he, I think, like, for him, because he knows how the body works and everything, and what happens to it after it dies, I don't think he ever really, the thought ever really crossed his mind, that thing, of there being something afterwards, like, believing in it or whatnot. But my dad, likes to think that there is, and he's hoping that, one day, he can reunite with his father and tell him, hey, Dad, you were wrong. Look what, look where we are, That'd be a beautiful thing to see, but, like,
it would be, and they can have, like, a nice laugh or something.
It'd be like,
I guess you're right,
kind
of thing. But but the thing is, though, we will never know.
No, that's right, until it happens, and it's not, we're going to be able to, hey guys, we can come back and say, hey everyone, you wouldn't believe what happened, although you do have those people who have those,
who claim to have
died
seen
and then come
the gates
back,
of heaven,
or hell or whatever, and then they come back,
but I don't know, but they don't know as well.
But see, I don't think we should be spending our. So that's one thing I don't like about religion, that you should be dedicating your whole life to be constantly. If you're constantly worrying about guilt,
about where you're going to end up,
where you're going to end up, because it just wastes. It wastes.
You
time.
waste your life.
Yeah,
you've got a whole life to do shit.
If you spend this time being anxious and depressed and scared of what's going to happen when you finally die, well, you're not living. You're not living. Life
or thinking like life is meaningless or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you're not fulfilling anything. Well, we're not saying go kill people. No, because that's obviously not right.
But you should make the most of the gift of life, as they say. You should make the most of it and do what the fuck it is you want to do, and not worry about what's going to happen one day, when you finally do pass on. And there are a lot of people who understand that, and they, because I feel like it's something that you want to really, focus on in your last, moments. I remember a friend.
Yeah, well, you're only here once.
That's it. So
you're only you once.
So I had a friend who was saying that he feels that when he's about to pass on, he'll be kind of looking forward to it. It's like a new chapter of his life, but it's not something he's going to experience.
Yeah.
Until then, So in the meantime, keep doing what you're doing, and then when you finally get to that stage, then that's when those thoughts
build your jigsaw puzzle.
Exactly.
Build your jigsaw.
Right. Yeah.
Fulfill your jigsaw, man. And it's not something, it is worrying to think about. Like, it could happen at any time.
Well, that's it.
You know what I mean?
But then that's why
it is scary. But you shouldn't live in fear like that, though.
That's right. But a lot of people do, though. A lot of people do.
Yes. A lot of people do live in fear of the fact that,
it's hard to understand, to just live it as life comes, just to do
that's
it.
Why you should be, not present, but like just kind of like absorb and just be kind of grateful that you've, lived on another day. It's kind of like every day is a celebration.
Yeah.
Of, going on.
Being there in the moment and enjoying each day as it comes, and not, not being, and helping each other out when we get stuck. But
yeah, exactly. And then especially when you're with people, just feel the moment, feel the energy with the people, and absorb everything that's going on. Just do what you can in life, instead of worrying about, stuff that you can't avoid. It's not in your control. That's the best way to think about it. Control the things you can control, and don't worry about the things you can't control, because you can't control it.
Yeah.
You literally can't control it. You can't do anything to stop that from happening.
No.
So you should worry about the things that you can control.
When it happens. That's right.
Yeah.
Getting your life sorted,
Mm.
And speaking of the beauty of life and everything, I'm breeding new sea monkeys because the last one died.
Monkeys.
So I'm rebuilding the empire. None of them have hatched yet, I don't think. I can't see any in there just yet, but I'll make sure.
I think I see one.
Yeah? One little speck?
Yeah, I think I see one.
Well,
yeah,
I'll make sure this time He's giving you the finger.
No, he's flipping his willy out.
Jesus Christ.
He's a bit of a naughty one, right?
Cheeky bastard. But I'll make sure I don't suffocate them with food this time.
Yeah, make sure to at least wait a couple of days before that happens.
Anyway.
But also speaking on life, today is the day of my mum's birth.
That's right. Happy birthday, Joel's mum.
Happy birthday, mum. 51 today.
51 today, okay. Were you taking her somewhere nice tonight?
Oh, where can I take her?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We
did everything cool. We did really cool stuff last year. Her 50th, we had a band come down to our house, like a live band playing.
Okay, yeah.
That was pretty dope. I don't think the neighbors liked it, but it was pretty loud and it was pretty dope. But
nice.
This year.
So you got everything 51. Sorted for it today? Noticed some nice things?
Yeah.
That's good, man.
Yeah, got some good stuff. I think we might be doing something for dinner.
Yep.
Getting takeout. We're not going to a restaurant because we obviously can't.
Yep. But you'll find something nice. Cool. Oh, good to hear. Well, happy birthday, John's mum.
5-1.
Have a good one.
Happy birthday. She listens to the podcast, so she's going to appreciate this.
That's good. Well, shout out.
Anyway,
guys, we should probably end it there on a nice note.
Yeah.
I know we got anything else to say, Joel. We were going to have a guest on today who's going to soon, once everything gets back to normal, he'll be our editor, and he's also
he'll be our Jamie.
He'll be our Jamie to our Joe Rogan experience. Yeah. And he's also going to be designing our sign, the Skeptic and the Dude sign, to appear in between us when we're back in the studio. So that'll all be exciting.
And he'll help. Well, he'll hopefully edit these videos now. That's right. So Brandon doesn't have to worry about it, and I don't have to worry about it. We're still going to run all the social media platforms and stuff because we'll do that, and we'll still have all the messaging and consulting. All the consulting stuff will still be between us, and we'll still do all that stuff. And
that's right, man.
All that. But just the editing part can help by getting it off our chest. More off your chest because you've been taking the weight. And trying to deal with like a lot of the. Shout out to Brandon, man. He's been taking all the weight for the editing.
Hasn't been too bad with this because it's easy to edit these ones because I don't have to match audio with camera. I don't have to worry about echoing either because we're on separate channels.
But then when we get back to in person,
we'll have to sort something out. I think we'll work it out. But anyway, that's a technical issue for the future. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you Tuesday. See you guys.